I think I would start by saying 3 core qualities. The first one is humility. I think it is so important, every day. It's like the Romans, when they had triumphs of their great generals, had someone whispering beside the general saying, "Remember, you are mortal." A real danger for leaders is to start thinking that you're too great. And even listening to the very kind words you guys have said about me, it's important not to take that too seriously or too much to heart. Lovely though it is to hear stuff like that. So I think really important to be humble and to hang on to that. I think it's really important to learn from your mistakes and recover from them, to know you're going to make mistakes, and to not dismiss them when you've made them, to say, okay, what was the mistake there? How can I avoid doing it? But also not to be crushed by them and to have an ability to move forward. And then I think the final thing, and I think this is actually the most important, is whatever you're doing, know why you are doing it and really, really care. And so if you are a political leader in a democracy, like at heart, you have to care about the people you represent and about your country. And that has to be your North Star that you keep on coming back to. And there are so many things that can distract you. Sometimes politics can be framed as a game and about winning or losing. And sure, there are winning and losing moments, right? Elections are important moments like that. But I think you have to really keep coming back to, this is not about me. This is not about me. This is not about winning or losing for me. This is about, in our case, Canada and Canadians. All those things maybe seem simple, they can be hard to do. I have come to really believe that the most important quality in leadership for me is listening, and taking the time to listen and seeking out a wide range of views. And that is definitely an evolution for me. I can be impatient and I can want to get things done, and taking the time to really listen carefully before really crystallizing your own point of view. That is something I think I have learned to do over time, and people close to me would say, I am still learning to do. So yeah, that would be one really important quality. I think another thing, and this is something I learned as a journalist and most of all as an editor, is not acting can be as dangerous as acting. I think it's very easy when you're in a tough situation to think that the safest thing is to do nothing. But there are a lot of situations in life where the choice not to act, which seems to be the neutral, safe one, is actually the most dangerous one. And being an editor is very helpful in that regard, because when you're an editor in a newspaper, you just have to make a lot of decisions. I remember when I was working in London, and I was appointed to my first big editing job. I was the UK news editor at the Financial Times. And it was quite a controversial appointment inside the paper because I was young and obviously not British. And I remember my direct boss, the overall news editor, saying to me, look, every day you're going to have to make 100 decisions about news stories. Some of them will be right, some of them will be wrong. In fact, probably 50% of them will be wrong. But the important thing is you need to make the decisions. You need to keep the paper going. So that, I think, was an important lesson and something that has stayed with me. And then I think the final thing is, I think it's really important to always remember it's not about you. And, you know, in a way, I'm even kind of a little bit uncomfortable about this whole conversation because it feels like it's too much about me. And I think real leadership, real, true, effective, positive leadership is about the team endeavor. It's about the country or the company or the newspaper. And it's very important for leaders to understand that it's not about them. I think it starts with our conversation about positive intent. You know, I really believe that all of Canada's premiers, they were elected by Canadians too, just as our government was. And I know that they share my desire, which is to do the best job we can for Canadians. I really believe that. Now, we may differ, indeed we do differ in some aspects of how, maybe many aspects in some cases, of how to do a good job for Canadians. But I think it's important to start with an acknowledgement that, you know, our core objectives are the same. And then I think beyond that, I really think there are a lot of win-wins that you can find in very many life situations if you go in with an open mind looking for them. And then finally, I would say it's also important to be clear about where the differences are. Not to be, you know, not to be shy about admitting them, and just to be sort of candid and open and direct, and to say, these are the areas where we agree and we can make some progress together. These are the things actually we really disagree about and probably we're never going to convince each other about. What I think you want to avoid, and what I think happens all too often in politics, in business, just in human life, is you have a fight when you don't mean to.